Mr. Gitlitz, there's a woman here without an appointment who wants to see you. Should I let her in?
I'm very busy. Can you send her to an associate?
She's very insistent that she needs to speak with you.
Okay, send her in. Nice to meet you, Miss...
Mavet. Malka H. Mavet.
Final Destination Travel Services End-of-Life Coach. Look, madam, I don't need any coaching, and I certainly don't need a travel agent. I've already made and canceled 3 different travel plans because of the pandemic, and that's enough.
Let me explain. I'm here because your time on planet Earth is up. I've come to take you to the great beyond.
What do you mean my time is up? Can't you see that I have a ton of work to do? You'll have to find someone else for this final destination trip of yours.
Look, why are you different from anyone else? The time has come for you to step aside from this world and make room for future generations.
What do you mean the time has come? Our founding partner, Judge Nehemiah Bledstein, lived until he was 97. He was still on the bench putting people on probation and forgiving speeding tickets well into his 90s. Besides, if you take me now, the world will miss out on the next Steven Spielberg, my grandson.
Steven Spielberg is your grandson?
My incredibly talented grandson, Jordan Strulowitz, is sure to become the next Steven Spielberg. That is, if you let him finish film school, and he's counting on me to pay his tuition. Surely you don't want the world to miss out on Jordan. Besides, it's grossly unfair to take me when I've worked so hard to be a perfect specimen in mind and body. Look. 5 times a week I exercise in my own private gym, and then I run a semi-marathon, and afterwards I swim. I'm careful with nutrition. On salad greens I thrive. What's with this dumb decision? I deserve to stay alive.
What's with this dumb decision? He deserves to stay alive.
I chow down antioxidants rich in vitamins and iron. I'm moderate with alcohol to keep those brain cells firing. I meditate each morning so my stress will dissipate. What's with this dumb decision? It's too soon for me to be late.
What's with this dumb decision? It's too soon for him to be late.
My health's more than sufficient, and I do worthy stuff. Pro bono work half a day a week. Don't you think that's good enough? Why take me when I'm in my prime and I have so much to give? Take back this dumb decision. Take it back and let me live.
Let him live, let him live.
I'm sorry, Mr. Gitlitz, but this is not my fault. One of my coworkers was supposed to come a few months ago to soften you up with some serious ailments, so that by now you'd be more receptive, perhaps even begging me to take you away. But I guess the serious ailments never arrived. We've had a lot of this happening lately. It's a supply chain issue.
So your outfit didn't deliver. All the more reason why you should show me some consideration and cancel this Final Destination thing.
I'm sorry, but I don't have the authority. That's above my pay grade.
Then I want to meet whoever it is that has the authority. I want to talk to him face to face.
No one can see his face and live. Tell you what, I'll convey your message as best I can, and we'll see what response you get. Eternal One who dwells on high, I bring a missive from this guy. Our plan for him has gone awry. He's simply not prepared to die. He's nor at fault, I testify. Can he live on, his fate defy? Please hear his plea and answer me. Please hear his plea and answer me, if that will fly. Okay, I've received a response. The answer is that you may qualify for an extension, but first you have unfinished business to take care of.
Unfinished business? What do you mean?
It says here that you have not been zealous. You've been downright lackadaisical, actually, in fulfilling the commandments for Purim. That's a big no-no on high.
You mean I'm going to die because I didn't get soused enough on Purim? So soused that I couldn't tell the difference between Mordecai and Haman? I swear, I did what I could to drink up. I pushed myself above and beyond my usual limit. If you let me live, I promise that I'll try really hard next year. And just in case, how about this? As a backup, I'll hire somebody more capable to be my designated tippler.
No, no, no. Getting drunk is not a commandment. That's just a minhag, a custom. It has no legal force.
Then what commandment are you worried about?
Actually, there are 4 commandments. I'll go through them one by one, and we'll see where some improvement is needed. The first commandment is to listen to the reading of the Megillah.
I should get credit for that.
Not so fast. It says here that you were scrolling through your cell phone during the last 3 chapters.
I had a work emergency to deal with.
Then how come we saw you looking at college basketball scores and checking your brackets?
They say we have a jealous God, but this is ridiculous. I get a death sentence for checking basketball scores?
No, but since you're asking for a special deal, something no one has enjoyed since Prophet Elijah, you have to meet a high standard. Next time, pay attention and search for meaning in those chapters.
Okay, I promise.
The next commandment is Mishloach Manot, sending portions of goodies to people.
I took care of that.
Really? I can't believe you did this. You should be ashamed of yourself. This is the kind of misconduct that could land you on the list of the top 10 living malefactors, right after Kim Jong-il, Trump, Duterte, and Putin. You included leftover macaroons from the previous Pesach in your Mishloach Manot.
My mother taught me it's a terrible sin, practically the worst ever, to waste food.
Yours is a much bigger sin, believe me. If you don't want to waste the macaroons, eat them yourself.
Yes, ma'am.
The third commandment is Matanot le'evyonim, giving gifts to the poor. I'm pleased to say that you get full credit for that. You gave a generous donation to Yad Chesed.
I'm glad I got credit for something. What's the fourth commandment?
Hosting a special meal, a Purim Seudah, on Purim.
I did that. We had a great time. I had catering sent up from Russ and Daughters in New York, and we sang Purim songs. It was very nice.
That's fine, but you neglected an essential component of the Seudah.
What's that? We did the Ganze Megillah, from soup to schnapps.
You didn't perform an original, entertaining Purim Shpiel. That's an essential part of the commandment. This year, you must be sure to remedy that.
That I can definitely do.
I'm going to stay with you until I'm sure you've properly performed all of these commandments.
Hello, Jordan.
Hey Gramps, how's it going?
Jordan, I urgently need to call upon your creative talents. We have a special opportunity. I want you to put together an original Purim Shpiel, and I need it within a week. We have an investor here, an angel, who wants to see what we got. If she likes what she sees, she'll sink real money into it. Can you put something together in a week for her and for me?
That's a tall order. You can't rush genius.
This time, you need to rush. How about next Tuesday at 2 p.m.?
All right, I'll see what I can do.
Jordan, this is our angel, Malka Mavet. She and I are looking forward to seeing the fruits of your labors. What do you have for us?
Well, you gave me a deadline, so I was working on it day and night. I brought some of my actor friends over to give you an excerpt for it. Come on in. It's called Waiting for Purim. There are two main characters, Mordechai and Esterhazy. We see them standing in the middle of an otherwise empty stage.
What do you think? Are we in the right place?
I think so. January is in this direction, and April is in that direction, so it looks right to me. There's no way Purim is going to slip by without us.
Are you sure? You said that about Tu B'Shvat.
That was different. How was I to see the new year of the trees in the midst of all the snowbanks? I was waiting for the almond tree to start blossoming like in the song.
All right, I accept that. In just a few years with climate change, it will be much easier. It will look like the Garden of Eden in January. But you are sure January is this way and April is that way? What if it's the other way around? We could miss Purim altogether.
No, you won't. Either way, it has to come by here.
I hope you're right. I need Purim this year more than ever.
More than last year? More than the year before?
More than ever. I swear, or my name isn't Mordechai, Grugger, Twirler.
What good is that? I saw your passport when you were packing your things, and it said your name is Mendel Latkefresser.
Well, that was the name my parents gave me, but I changed it. I've always loved making noise, much more than I love food, and Mordecai Grugger Twirler better expresses my true identity. After all, what can be better for making noise than twirling, clapping, shaking Gruggers to blot out Hyman's name on Purim? And that's why I'm waiting here so patiently, and why before, when you suggested we take a break and go get coffee and a cronut, I said no, we have to wait for Purim.
You didn't hear me right. I said co-nut.
What do you mean, cronut? A cronut is a cross between a croissant and a donut. It's become very popular, but what's a conut?
A conut is a cross between a priest, a kohen, and a donut. This makes it the holiest food imaginable. Look, Mordechai, we've waited a long time. Maybe Purim isn't coming this year, like so many other cancellations because of the pandemic.
Hold it! How does this end?
They continue waiting, going back and forth between hope and discouragement, getting increasingly impatient. Then the full moon appears, and they are excited that Purim is finally arriving. They see someone approaching and greet him excitedly. He hands them a message that says that this year is a leap year, and they have to wait another month for Purim?
With all due respect, Jordan, this is much too morose to qualify as a Purim Shpiel. And it's not all that funny either. You need to make lots of changes. Something that's entertaining. More like Abbott and Costello and less like Samuel Beckett.
Abbott and Costello?
I mean more in the spirit of Abbott and Costello.
Like Haman could tell the king, Jews on first, nobody's on second? That's a dumb ideal. Besides, a Purim Shpiel has to reflect the sensibility of all times. We're not in the 1950s anymore. This is a spiel that will resonate with today's audience.
I don't think so. Make major changes. If you don't, I fear that this spiel will be dead on arrival.
Jordan, listen to what she's saying. She's our angel. Her input is important.
You're asking me to compromise my artistic vision to satisfy an investor. I will never do that. Life is too short.
You're damn right life is short. I mean, for me, it's shorter than it is for you. You have more time. You have ample opportunities in the future to pursue your own creative vision.
Miss Mavet, we are not the right fit for you. I suggest that you take your checkbook elsewhere, where I'm sure you find something more to your liking. Something like Adam Sandler presents the Super Mario Brothers do Simchas Torah.
No, don't go. She's not going. You can grow from this. This is like a school assignment. Understand a certain genre from the inside. I've been there for you. Do this for me.
You know I'd like to help you, but the truth is, I can't. Nobody in school ever asked me to do this kind of commercial hack work. I wouldn't even know how to begin. There's a mismatch here. Look, these things happen. It's not the end of the world.
Yes. No. I mean, it is not. Jordan, calm down. We've got to make this happen.
Don't worry. I think he's stuck. There is another solution. I'll stay here, ask the actors to improvise something.
Seriously? Okay guys, you heard her suggestion. Do you want to try to improvise something? A funny skit for Purim?
Sure. Jordan, count down from 10.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
COVID is here real neat. I can't believe it. A group of 145 Haredi in Bnei Brak gathered for a Purim celebration, and afterward no one came down with COVID. We didn't know what to make of it, so we examined every variable, individual health records, environmental variables such as seating, ventilation, food served. In the end, we found only one thing that was different from previous gatherings.
What was that?
Oznai Haman, Hamantaschen. It was Purim, and they served poppy, apricot, and prune varieties. So we procured a supply of 24 Hamantaschen and took some to the lab and investigated. Well, by the time we got to the lab, we only had a dozen left, but that was sufficient for our investigation. We found that the SARS-CoV-2 virus weakened significantly when exposed to Hamantaschen.
Is that possible?
Well, the mechanism isn't entirely clear, but our theory is that the triangular shape of the pastries causes the filling to congeal in a certain way during the baking process. The resultant gluey, glutinous filling material coats the spike proteins in a way that prevents them from coming attached to anything. Now we have human trials underway, and the results so far are promising.
Once the word got out from the Holy Land, everywhere Christmas Europe is in high demand. Folks want to hear from Seattle to the Miami, from the White House and the CDC.
Dr. Fauci, the approval only applies to apricot, poppy, and prune Hamantaschen. What about other varieties?
Let's not get ahead of ourselves here. We only have data supporting 3 flavors. There are phase 3 trials going on now. Merck with raspberry, Johnson & Johnson with chocolate. When we have the results, we'll review them and then make a determination.
Dr. Fauci, in December of last year, you issued a statement praising latkes, which went viral at the time. This was a time when the merits of latkes versus Hamantaschen were being debated. Now you're recommending Hamantaschen. How do you explain the sudden turnaround, and why should we trust this recommendation?
The pandemic is a moving target, and as new scientific knowledge emerges, we revise our recommendations. Back in December 2020, at the height of the surge, with the virus out of control, we saw potential benefit in a food associated with the miracle of Hanukkah. Today, new scientific discoveries are leading us to Hamantaschen. Our expert panel carefully reviewed all of the Hamantaschen data, and you can quote me that it's not chopped liver.
Dr. Fauci, how do you respond to the claim by Marjorie Taylor Greene and others on social media that the Hamantaschen are part of a Jewish plot to poison the people of America?
If the Jewish people wanted to poison us, why Hamantaschen? When they have so many traditional foods available that would do the job so much better.
Once the White House gave the recommendation, now comes the challenge of mass dissemination. How to ensure that folks throughout the nation get the proper dose of the Purim medication.
In the past, access to protective equipment, tests, and vaccines has been a major problem. How can we be sure that there will be sufficient supplies, where and when people need them?
The government has ordered 300 million Hamantaschen, 100 million from Pfizer, 100 million from Moderna, and 100 million from Manischewitz. People won't have to go to a clinic. They'll be able to get Hamantaschen at familiar neighborhood locations.
Oh, phew.
Phew.
Hi, I'm here for my 10:30 Hamantashen appointment.
Okay, have a seat, please. Are you allergic to any medications or pastries?
No.
Do you require a gluten-free Hamantash?
Well, I would actually prefer a gluten-free apricot hamantash. Brown around the edges that has been warmed for 9 seconds in the microwave.
I'll see what I can do for you. Have you fainted after eating a pastry?
No, once I practically plotzed after eating a piece of strudel.
Practically plots doesn't count. Here's your Hamantash. Let me get it for you.
I'll also have a venti-sized latte.
I'll see what I can do.
And so the sticky filling smothered the deadly Swiss bite. It caused the dread COVID virus to take a break. We know that chicken soup has healing properties. But now we've learned Hamantash can cure our worst diseases.
Wow, guys, that was amazing. You came up with something that both Miss Mavet and I can really enjoy. How did you come up with it on the spot?
I just opened my mouth and it just came out.
It's as if we were channeling voices from on high.
Like a heavenly spirit was feeding us the lines.
Now, go to our conference room, work that all into a workable script. We'll order you some coffee, and we'll get it done. Okay, is this something you and I can work with?
I liked it. If you keep your promises, you'll get your extension, and I'll be glad if you do. You'll get to have your Hamantashen and eat it too.
Great, we have a deal. Seal it with some schnapps.
Oh, no, I have to fly. And end-of-life coach work is never done. So long, Lihitraot, until next time.
Aye.
I'm back, and you know what I'm here for.
This is not a good time. I'm still in robust health, and I recently started a very worthy project, studying the Daf Yomi, a page of Talmud per day. It's going to take me 7 more years to finish, so come back in 2029. We'll talk then.
Look, we're impressed that you've observed Purim scrupulously for 4 years, including 4 wonderful Purim Shpiels. So, I'm doing you a favor by alerting you. The supply chain problems are fixed, and you're going to get serious ailments, like it or not. Now is the time to go. I'm giving you the chance to avoid that.
Not in the middle of Daf Yomi. We're practically finished with Tractate Brachot. Next week we're having a siyum to celebrate it. And then we're moving on to Peah, which is all about our obligations to the poor.
You have to give up thinking about this next thing and that next thing. Now is the time to direct your attention to what you've already done and the bounty you're leaving to the next generation. You've had the great privilege of living life's arc. You've had many moments, and more light than dark. You're accomplished, you've had so much joy since your birth. Stop and savor the fruits, all fruits of your time on this earth.
down your scythe, Malka Mavet. Put it back in the place from which it came. Put down your scythe, Malka Mavet. Put it back in the place from which it came. It's so unfair, Malka Mavet, that young and old never treated the same. We've learned a lot, Malka Mavet, things years ago we didn't know how to do. We've learned a lot, Malka Mavet, things years ago we didn't know how to do. It makes no sense, Malka Mavet, cut us down at a time when we're not through. The first decades we struggled to get going. After that, we grew strong, meeting life's demands. Now that finally our wisdom's overflowing, why come and yank the gift of life right out of our hands? Shame, shame on you, Malka Mavet. For this role you're playing, it's a crime. Hey, shame on you, Malka Mavet. For this role you're playing, it's a crime. So search your soul, Malka Mavet. Do the righteous thing and give me time. Stop. Hold on there a minute. There's a foul message wrapped up in your sweet words. Why should I have to end my life now? Do you have something against older people to treat us this way?
I told you before, I don't make decisions. I just do what I'm told. That's the limit of my role.
I think you have more power than you let on. I saw how all of a sudden Jordan's active friends were improvising a well-written professional quality Purim Shpiel. Don't tell me that happened by itself.
That was barely anything. It irritated me that your grandson was so ignorant and self-righteous, coming up with dreck and then defending it. I did it for the honor of Purim. I didn't want his actor friends, or your grandson for that matter, to think that his travesty is what a real Purim Shpiel is like. Besides, we have so many great talents up there, going unused. I beamed a little of the spirit of Gildner Radner in their direction.
Just like you did, I suspect, for the next 3 Shpiels. I guess it's like potato chips or Hamantaschen. You can't stop at just one.
Once I started, it was hard to hold back. With all that wasted talent around me, the next year I beamed down a little Joseph Heller. After that, Groucho Marx. And last year, remember COVID in Chelm? That was Shalom Aleichem.
So, I just learned 2 things. 1, you have more power than you let on, and 2, you have a serious addiction to Purim Shpiels. What are you going to do when I'm not around? No Shpiels.
I thought, well, maybe I'd go cold turkey and get back on the straight and narrow path.
Is that what you really want to do? When instead, you could twirl your finger and have a new Shpiel, maybe this time inspired by Jackie Mason.
Don't say that.
Or Molly Pecan, Or Mel Brooks.
Stop!
Okay, Malka, it's safe now. Just keep up your little beaming activity, and I assure you, no one will even notice. There's a widespread belief that angels can't act on their own, that unlike humans, angels lack free will. Since everyone believes this, no one up there will ever suspect.
You think so?
I know so. Call off those serious ailments, give me a couple more years, and I'll have a couple more Shpiels. Is that an agreement?
Okay. No regrets. I agree.
Then let's shake on it.
I'd better go. I'll be back for Purim.
How about that? 2 years is just the beginning. She's never going to be able to give up the Shpiels, and she'll have to keep on giving me extensions. There are people like Jordan nowadays who live to Shpiel, but I bet I'm the only one in the whole world who Shpiels to live.
Shpiel, it gets endorphins to soar. Shpiel, it brings us humor galore. Where our wits give folks fits from our funniest bits. Let laughter peal at the Purim Shpiel. Shpiel, I can hardly believe it. Shpiel, even angels can't leave it. I've got nothing to fear for a couple of years, maybe a lot more years. I've got a deal thanks to the Purim Shpiel. I hope you've enjoyed this playlet. I'll stake my life on it as sure as can be. And I hope there's a good chance you may let us be back virus-free in 23.
My life has turned from sadness to joy, from mourning to celebration, just like in the Megillah. And if you observe the laws of Purim and exploit Malka Mavet's weakness for Purim Shpiels, perhaps you too can postpone your ultimate fate.
May it be true for all of us.
So Shpiel, when your life is on the line, Shpiel, things may turn out just fine. If, like the Jews of Shushan, it seems hope is gone, there's no chance to appeal, and you've had your last meal. Could be fate will reveal cause for joy at the Purim Shpiel.